Hi guys, welcome to my podcast. My name is Nicole and I'm the brains and the beauty behind Yarncraft by Nicole. You can find me right here on YouTube. You can also find me on Insta, on Facebook, as well as on Ravelry and on Etsy. Today in our yarn chat episode, wanted to start off today strong. So I am wearing my delightful garden trellis top. This is a top that I tested last year for Herman and I absolutely love it. I modified mine a little bit to have more of a cropped feel and then extended the sleeves a little as well. But the top itself, I'm going to get a little closer so you can see some of these great details. The top itself is mildly open work and it has this cute little detail at the bottom, this little picot edging, and it works up beautifully. This particular top, because it is written as more of a recipe style garment, you can do this in any weight yarn because you are doing it based on your specific measurements, not based on a certain amount of stitches. So this top, the garden trellis top, I made mine in a fingering weight yarn. This yarn is from Wonderland yarns. It's got the cutest name. It's called Kerfuffle. And when I was working at the yarn shop in Kentucky, we had some of this particular colorway in a different base, something that was a little bit heavier. And I just fell in love with the different speckles, the fact that it's on a pretty neutral background, and it felt like fun. And with a name like Kerfuffle, I mean, how could it not be? So I made this last year. I actually haven't worn it a ton, and after putting it on today, I was like, why not? It's great. I honestly might make myself more of these because I think it'd be really cute and like a heavier weight, maybe something that's a little bit more Christmassy colors. I don't know. There are some options there. I did actually make one of these tops though for my best friend. It wasn't even really for her birthday or anything. I just thought that she would like these colors, where I had some mini skeins, and so I striped it, and then I had a solid color burst that was mainly white and had a little bit of color in it. It's on my Instagram, but it's a really cute top as well, and it fits her awesome, which is always what you want to hear when you make a garment for someone else, because there's nothing like having all of your hard work go into something and then suddenly they can't use it. So anyway, garden trellis top, it's great. You could also make this in a shorter sleeve and a longer sleeve. It is very easily customizable. Mine is a bit more of a boat neck. If I made something in a heavier weight, I probably would make it a little bit further over so it had a smaller neckline. But also the top that I'm wearing underneath it is just pulling it to the side. So I have given up trying to keep it on my shoulders because you can't see anything anyway, so it's fine. So this is my featured make. It's fantastic. I definitely need to wear this more often because it's adorable. Also adorable, this mug, which is full of a delightful Earl Grey latte right now. Okay, I do have a bit of a confession to make. My whips and finished objects is going to be a little bit skinny this week because the mega project that I've been working on that I actually have to finish tonight because it has to be done this weekend is been a top priority, and so it's in the home stretch. I should be able to finish it tonight and not lose any sleep, but it is coming along beautifully. It's a commission for somebody else, and I can't show it to you because I don't want to give away any secrets, but it is beautiful. You'll see pictures of it after the time is right on that. And I will probably also do some sort of a video using that particular pattern, that particular motif for y'all here as well. Also, while I am on this tangent, I will have a lot more free time over the summer than I've had during the school year. So if there are anything that you want to see more of on this channel, let me know in the comments, because I have great ideas for new tutorials as well as just general yarn information that I didn't learn until I worked in a yarn shop. And I know a lot of other crafters might not know this as well, especially if you're getting new into it. want to let you know some of these awesome things that make our craft that much easier. So for my current whips, one looks like I've done a lot of work on it, one looks like I've barely done any, but probably the same amount of time has gone into either of them. So the first one is the kind of rainbowy blanket that I showed y'all last week. Isn't it pretty? I think last week I was about right here. Absolutely love this. I am using Yarn Bees. Oop, it would help if I could see the label. Yarn Bees Baby Bee yarn. Looks like this. You can find this at Hobby Lobby, and it is a DK level yarn, so it's not super heavy, and it's super affordable. I just want to make sure I'm telling you right. It is acrylic and polyamide, so it's gonna wear really well. You'll be able to throw this in the washer and the dryer. But that's what I've done so far in that. For this project, it's mainly using yarn I already had and seeing what I could do with it, which is generally how I've done most of my crafting until starting Yarn Craft by Nicole. And I think it's working out really well. I've got enough gray to complete this bottom part on the other side, and should be good on all of the yarn that I have. But just using a granny stripe, and then in these middle sections, I'll show you the prettier side. In these middle sections, it's just some single crochet and some double crochet. So not hard at all, but it's got a nice drape to it, and it's just very cheerful and a happy blanket. So you'll probably also see this on my Etsy shop whenever it is done. This next project, I think I showed you the yarn for this last week. This is a kit I bought from Lion brand for the Timberwood tank, which I am super pumped about. It's going to be gorgeous. And the yarn that I bought is this pretty orangey, almost a neutral but not quite color that will look really lovely against my skin. It is 100% merino wool, DK weight, unless I am making that up. Or if you don't want to tell me, that's fine too. But it is working out beautifully. It splits a little bit, but not so much that it's annoying. But the front of the tank, if you haven't seen pictures, go look up pictures immediately. Timberwood tank by Knits and Knots. The front of it has a bunch of slip stitch in the back loop only, which sounds complicated. It's really not. Make sure I get in really lovely so you can see this texture. But it's very, very dense. So for this particular type of stitch, it is smaller than a single crochet, and you're only doing it in the back loop. So they're very compressed together. But what is nice is that it does have a good amount of stretch. I will say that I fought with this a little bit at the beginning because I don't usually do slip stitches, and I have never done slip stitch in the back loop only for something that's this long, and I was having issues finding the loops at the beginning. So my first go round with this, I took it out and tried again, and the second time it looks a lot better, but this is hours of crocheting for this amount. But what is nice about this is that while there are a lot of projects that you can do very quickly, like the baby blanket that I'm working on now, hats, scarves, even some cowls and shawls, while it's nice to have kind of a palette cleanser project, something you do relatively quickly, I know that this piece is going to be such a classic, and that I'm going to be learning a lot of construction techniques along the way, that I'm excited to have a project that will take a little bit longer. The other nice thing about this is that this is just a personal project for me. I'm not pattern testing this for anybody. I'm not making this for anybody. This has no deadline. So I can take as long as this as I want. But I am encouraged with my second go round that the ends are a lot more even, and I know that it will continue to be very cute. This part is like in the middle of the tank, and goes up, it splits around the neckline, and then you add onto it for each side. So a lot of this, a lot of the ends, even now that aren't super cooperative, will be fine because I'll be crocheting over them. So that is my Timberwood tank. I have a mega road trip this week and I will be taking this project, but I will also take other projects that work up a little bit quicker because this is a long-term project. But I'm very excited about it and I'm loving the color. The color was a good choice. Moving into, well, I'll show you this project. So my best friend and my sister both asked for me to make a particular sweater for them. It's the green sweater that I've worn in this video before. It's called the Pebbled Pack Cardigan, also from Herman. She's great, and they both asked if I could make them one this year. So I said, of course, this will just count as your birthday present. And because both of them live in warmer places, one is in California and one is in Georgia, they didn't want something that was wool the way that mine is, because A, it's harder to care for if you're not used to caring for wool, and B, it would just be really hot. It would be hotter than they would need it to be, warmer than they need it to be. So I decided that I would send them to WeCrochet and have them pick out colors with one of the yarns that is a cotton and linen yarn. And so this is the yarn. It would help if I would actually show you the label. This is the yarn that I got for them. And it works up really well. It's a DK weight, 70% cotton, 30% linen, and all of the little hanks are super cute. For a sweater, I do wish that they had something that was a little bit bigger than this, because it takes a lot of these to make a sweater, but the colors are really cute. So for my best friend, these are the colors that she wanted. This is called Conch and this is called Ash. And I actually started hers because I was curious to see what it would look like, and it's coming along really well. And then for my sister, got this really pretty, deep, saturated red called Pomegranate. So I am very pumped about this because this is working up in a cotton or a cotton and linen combo. The bead stitches are standing out a little bit more than they do on mine. I also went back to the directions and I might have made my bead stitches a little bit too dense. Like I think I might have missed a step when I was originally doing it. So theirs is going to be a little bit lighter on the bottom, and then the top for this one will all be that ash color, and just the little bead stitches. I'll get a little closer so you can see. Isn't that pretty? All the little bead stitches will be the conch color, kind of that corally color. So very excited about that. And you will see more of this along because they know, they picked out the colors. They know what it'll look like, and I am pumped. Also a little nervous because again, I am making something for someone else. When you're making a garment for yourself, it's very easy to just throw it on, see if it fits along the way. But the good thing about this particular cardigan is that it's a little looser, it's a little oversized, and there's a little leeway either way. So those are the current projects that I'm working on, and WeCrochet's CotLin, very cute, is our yarn love for this week. They have it in a ton of colors, and this would be really nice if you were making some Marie Crochet tops. If you were making like baby items, this would be great for that. You can throw this in the washing machine. It just suggests that you machine wash it on cold and that you tumble dry low. So this would be great for little people garments or blankets or things like that. And like I said, they have tons of colors, and I am happy to work with this. It works up well. I would say that this probably feels a little bit more like it's a thicker DK. Thinking about being a worsted, but an absolute joy to work with. And guys, with that, we wind down our yarn chat for this week. And for what I can't let go of, when I was thinking about what I can't let go of this week, I kept coming back to the idea of confidence. I've been following along with a crochet business summit where the leaders are going through and having special guests come on and talk about how to grow your business and how to really invest in yourself. And confidence came up there. And it's something that I hear a lot personally as well as on social media about how to have confidence, how to project confidence. People that know me well will usually describe me as a confident person. And when I was thinking about what that means, I kept circling back to the idea of it being the fact that you know your worth and not putting your worth into failures. We are all going to get things wrong. We're all going to make mistakes. But I think when we look at people who we would define as confident, they don't define themselves by those failures and mistakes, and they have the mindset that they can move on from that is not the end, that they can change how things move in the future. When I think about my career in teaching and how it did not look the way that I thought it would after the first few years, and how that shot my confidence in a lot of ways, of if I didn't have that definition of what my role was, what my job was, what my career was, well, how does that change how I look at me and how I think about me? And I think when we were put in those situations and we see that we are so much more than one box and we are so much more than one thing, it is easier for us to have confidence and know that there's always something more and that there's always another step. So I encourage you this week to take time and to invest in what makes you feel confident. And I will see you right back here next week. Bye, guys.